Hello there, welcome. Hope you're having a great day today. We are talking about Leviticus chapter 27 today. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I have been going chapter by chapter through the Bible. You can go back to my main page all the way to the beginning of the Bible, or you can watch anytime. So let's talk about Leviticus Numbers chapter 27. So here we have a group called the daughters of, I think it's Zelophehad. And this group of daughters, what had happened was their dad was killed and there were no brothers alive for the inheritance to be passed to. So they basically said they should have the rights to what would have normally been inherited. So in verse 3, it says, "Our father died in the wilderness. He was not among Korah's followers who rebelled against the Lord. He died because of his own sin, but he had no sons. Why should the name of our father disappear from his clan just because he had no sons? Give us property along with the rest of our relatives." So Moses took their request to the Lord, and the Lord actually honored their request and set forth some rules for how this could be addressed when it happened in the future. The second part of today's chapter is kind of sad because it says in verse 12, "One day the Lord said to Moses, 'Climb one of the mountains east of the river and look out over the land I've given the people of Israel. After you have seen it, you will die like your brother Aaron, for you both rebelled against my instructions in the wilderness of Zin.'" He goes on to tell Moses that he will take Joshua, son of Nun, who has the Spirit in him, and he's going to lay his hands on him, and he will kind of take over for Moses. So we're seeing Moses nearing the end of his life, but before this happened, God wants to make sure that he is kind of training and appointing someone to take over for him. The footnote today talks about that. It says Moses did not want to leave his work without making sure a new leader was ready to replace him. First, he asked God to help him find a replacement. Then, when Joshua was selected, Moses gave him some of his authority right away to ease the transition into his new position. Moses also clearly told the people that Joshua had the authority and the ability to lead the nation. His display of confidence in Joshua was good for Joshua and the people. To minimize leadership gaps, anyone in a leadership position should be training others to carry on the necessary duties should he or she eventually have to leave. While you have the opportunity, follow Moses' pattern. Pray, select, develop, and commission. And that is just such wise advice. You know, sometimes I think we as people tend to feel like, well, the Bible doesn't really give us advice that's relevant to today. But yes, it does. It does. This is great business advice right here. A lot of times people don't want to show others how to do things because they just want to be able to do it all themselves and make themselves appear more valuable. But if you have your company or your business's best interests at heart, then you are going to willingly share things with others and equip them so that in case you aren't able to continue to be a good leader, someone else can step up to the plate. Thank you guys for watching today. I'll see you back here next time.